welcome back to another episode of the Turtle Bookworm. Today we're going to be doing our July wrap-up and our August TBR. July was kind of a slow month for me. As you probably know, I've talked about it a few times. I am going to be pitching my novel in February, so I've been really focused on editings and rewrites and revisions and all that fun stuff, so I haven't had a whole lot of time for reading. But I still read every day, just not as much as I would like to be reading. I miss reading. I want to finish a book in the next day or two because, yeah, you know what? We'll get into all that. So what did I read in July? Well, I finished up, I was buddy reading with my dad, the Red Rising Trilogy, and I finished reading the third part of that series. This series, I gave a 5 out of 5. This book being the best of the series, each book got consistently better and better and better. So, Morning Star by Pierce Brown for the Red Rising Trilogy. I like how it cuts me off, but it's peekaboo, peekaboo. Also in July, I'm a fan of Joe Hill, and I finally got around to reading Nosferatu. I did like Heart-Shaped Box significantly better than this book, and the reason I bring Heart-Shaped Box up is because there's a lot of nods to that book in here. I say a lot, it was like 2 or 3. But still, I thought it was pretty neat. I wish I would have read this around Christmas time. If you haven't read it, you should probably read it around Christmas time because one of the main areas takes place in a place called Christmas Land, which exists inside the mind. Very Christmas themey. You should just read it around Christmas time. I gave it a 3 out of 5 star. It was okay. I liked it. Not in love with it. But it was good. I'm glad I read it. I'm going to keep it around. Maybe enjoy it another time. And lastly, I read in July Avalon. I finally got around to reading it. I heard about this book from Ginger Reads Laney. She talked about it in a couple of her videos as being an underrated book. It so is underrated. This book was amazing and I'm so glad I read it. I already have the sequel all lined up and ready to go. I am not sure when I'll get to the sequel, but probably in the next couple months or so because I'd like to know what happens next. Avalon is like a, it's a space adventure book. Little bit of political background going on. Reminded me a lot of Firefly. Just very adventuresome. Twists and turns. Oh, my lost bookmark. I forgot to take it out. It was just really good. I really enjoyed it. I tried to get my dad to read it and he said no, he was gonna pass, but eventually I will get him to read this because I think I'm gonna send it to him in the mail, and if he gets a book in the mail, guess what? He has to read it. We have that game that we play, me and my dad. So for, did I say August? Well, TBR for August, I have a couple here. So I just started Day Zero by Kresley Cole. I'm a huge Poison Princess fan, and Arcana Rising book 4 in the series comes out in about 2 weeks on August 15th. Super stoked. This is just a tiny little teaser to get by. Miss Death immensely, and I'm falling in love with him all over again. He's probably my favorite character in the whole series. I started as Team Jack, but totally Team Death. Oh, Death. You are so amazing. I adore you. Also on my August TBR, I have been picking away at Luke Taylor's Vault of Dreams. I'm enjoying it. It's just a little slow for me, so I just go back and forth, read about 50 to 100 pages, and then come back to it, read a book. So I will get that finished in the month of August. Every bit that I read, it gets a little better, a little better, a little better. So it's definitely picking up speed for me. I'm not quite halfway, so we will get to the end of this in August. At least that's the plan, Stan. Also, back to the, if I send you a book, Dad, you're going to read it. Well, the same is true for me. So my dad has been wanting me to read this book, 1 Second After by William Forsh. Not what I thought it said. Forshkin. Sounds like what I thought it said. I'm probably saying it wrong. But anyway, so this is a political, a post-apocalyptic, if there was an electronic magnetic impulse that took everything down, how society would react and behave. Would it cause Congress to shut down? What would happen? He's very into these, and I admire him for reading some stuff that I've thrown his way, so I'm going to do the same for him and read 1 Second After. He's also raving about, I think it's called The Year After, which is the sequel to this book. So I'll be reading this in August. And also, I forgot to bring it down off my shelves. It's kind of high. I can't quite reach it. It's way up that way. Is The Heart of the Sea. U.S. history, whaling book. There's a movie that came out with Thor. I don't ever remember his name. His name is Thor, and his brother is Gale, and that is how they will be known forever, because I don't remember names very well. So I'll be trying to get to that as well. Not sure how many of these I can pick away at. I've got 5 on my list. Crested Cole's Day Zero and the Arcana Rising are the top 2 that I want to get done. Then I've got the other 3. So we'll see what happens. You never know. Maybe I'll hit a reading pocket of all kinds of free time. I'm going to sit down and edit here in a minute. Maybe I'll just like whoop, shoot on by and have lots of more free time to read. So until we meet again, keep on reading. And if you're a writer, stick with it. Keep on writing. Cheers.